the first watch I wanted to talk about is a watch that I thought was going to be my GRAIL watch, and that's a Christopher Ward. I think it's called Moonglow or something like that. But basically, this is a WorldTime watch, and it's like all about the lume. It has a lot of superluminova lume built into it. So I just have to demonstrate that. Having some trouble here with the light. Okay, so lume is not super bright right now, but if I charge it up, so the lume is pretty great, and I really like this watch because I like WorldTimer, and this has some unique features that I'll show you when the lights are on again. But while the lights are off, I'm going to show you the other two. This is an IWC Engineer, which is the basis for what I really like. It's a very simple Calatrava style watch with an oyster band. And it also happens to be pretty expensive. And then this is my real GRAIL watch. And this is a Micosa, which is a Helvetia movement. I think it's H845 or something like that. But this watch was 30 francs. $30 US approximately at today's exchange rate. And it's an automatic 27 jewel watch, and I relumed it myself, so it's got super luminova lume, and it's really easy to read at night because it's got these long hands with lots of lume, and yeah, so I like that. And what I like about I like a watch that you could just put it on and set it and not worry about date and day or other complications, and it's ready to go. So this has a band from China. Let me turn on the light, but basically the band costs less than $10, including shipping from China, and it's a good stainless steel band. It has no brand on it, which is nice. And there's no way I think that I could ever find I doubt that this company ever made actual steel band for this watch, but I like stainless steel because you can wear it underwater and doesn't have any issues. Okay, so lights. And okay, so I wanted to go back to the Christopher Ward. So again, this is not my GRAIL watch, but what's interesting about it is this is probably this is the most expensive new watch that I ever bought. And it's the only new watch I've bought in the last 10 years. And the reason I bought it was because it has this really cool, let me focus a little bit higher here. It has this, what I think is a really cool feature, which is it has this sapphire disc inside that it stays in the same place, but the 24-hour clock rotates. So it tells you, if you read what time is in the red zone, it tells you all day long what time it is. For example, right now it's set for Calgary, which is also Denver and area where I'm from, Boulder, and New Mexico, where my mother lives. So right now I'm in Paris time zone in Geneva, so it's 11, almost 11 here. And in my mom's time zone, it's between almost 3 p.m., between 2 and 3 p.m. So that changes throughout the day. So if you're working with somebody who's in another time zone, you can set that radar. Let me see if I can do this without. Oops, that's wrong. What's the deal here? I think there's an intermediate. Okay, there. So there's an intermediate setting on the dial has 3 positions, and in this position you can set the radar to different locations. So my wife's from Taiwan, so I could set it to Taiwan time zone, and which actually I'm not sure if I think that's Hong Kong, not Bangkok. But anyway, you can set it to whatever time zone, and then this 24-hour clock, right now I'm setting that, which is not good. I'll have to set it back to Paris time, but basically that needs to be set wherever you are. That ring needs to be set to where you are for everything else to be accurate. So again, we're at almost 11, so 23, and then I'll set this back for Calgary again. And then if I pull it all the way out, I can set the time correctly again, which is like almost 50. Okay, so this would have been my GRAIL watch, except for a couple of things. It's too big. I like a smaller watch, and it's and the lume doesn't really work, even though that's the highlight of it, and that's the reason I bought it. The problem is when the minute and the hour hands pass over Asia and Africa, they get lost. Like if you look at this at 5 in the morning, that's when they're passing over that. And that hour hand in particular just gets lost in a sea of lume. Actually, it's not the sea, it's the landmass of lume of Asia and Africa. So exactly the time when the lume is kind of at its weakest and your eyes are blurriest is when the hour hand is passing over those continents, and it makes it so you can't read the time at night, which is kind of not the purpose of lume. So that's a sad story of the almost GRAIL watch. And then this watch is kind of the coolest watch. This is really my GRAIL watch, except for it's a little bit too expensive to, in fact, it's way too expensive or valuable to wear it all the time because it's kind of too precious. So these can go from between $4,000 and $16,000. So you can't really wear something like that. I'm not comfortable wearing something like that around on my wrist unless I don't know what, unless I know I'm doing nothing. And then a watch like this, which is $30, and basically the same kind of look and feel and function as the IWC, that does it for me. That's the GRAIL watch.